What's a crazy story you've been wanting to tell, but there's never been a thread specific enough for it? A few years ago, I was in a very dark place and felt completely hopeless. I drove over an hour to a remote mountaintop, a place that always brought me peace, to finally be alone with my thoughts. The drive up the mountain to the trailhead is very long and winding, so it took a moment to get up to the spot I wanted. As I'm driving up this mountain, out of nowhere, the sky opens up, like a severe, raining, sideways thunderstorm straight out of a movie. It felt so theatrical and dramatic, I couldn't help but appreciate the timing. When I finally arrive at the trailhead, the storm subsides and I get out of my car and just sit for a moment reflecting. As I'm getting up to walk the trail, boom! Lightning strikes. And I mean like 15 feet away from me. It was nuts. I'd never been so close to an actual lightning bolt. My ears were ringing, vision spotty. I wasn't actually hit, but it felt like a flashbang or something. I just started laughing. What a wild, unexpected, and unlikely thing I just got to witness. I walked the trail after my heart rate calmed down and just enjoyed the scenery for a while. I decided the lightning strike was too cool a story not to share, so I drove back down the mountain to get cell service and called my sister. Suppose this isn't a wholly unbelievable story, just a lucky confluence of events. It sure felt unbelievable at the time. I'm not a religious person at all, but damn if that storm didn't feel like the universe trying to steer me back down that mountain. In the 90s, I saw a guy doing something incredibly suspicious on a mountain. Was camping on a mountain and decided to go to the top of the mountain at night. It's a small mountain with dedicated campsites and a road with a parking lot lookout at the top. It's pitch black out. We pulled into the parking lot and the car lights lit up an old blue pickup truck. To the left was this guy struggling to push a large, heavy-looking rolled-up carpet over the edge of the mountain. We noped out of there, got back to our campsite and stayed awake all night. Saw the truck pass by twice. We packed up and left the next morning, stopped at the town at the base of the mountain, and used a payphone to call the police. Okay, long, useless story of fuckery ahead. A few years ago, I was promoted to a management position within the software company I work for. I was told I was handpicked for the job, and though it was a big promotion, I would not receive a pay increase until I had the team performing at minimum required performance standards. 2 years in, I had the team running the best numbers it had ever seen, far exceeding the minimum standards. Every quarter, I asked to be reviewed for a raise, and every quarter, a reason was found to skip the review. Finally, I brought HR into the mix because, fuck you, I'm nailing this and busting my ass over here. Miraculously, a date was set for the end of the month. Funny how that works out. Alas, a week before my review date, where I would surely be granted my rate increase, my direct supervisor, a micromanaging weasel of a man, and the CEO of the company, rewrote the minimum requirements to just barely exceed my team's current projected stats. When I came to him, fists clenched, he explained this move as an unrelated adjustment to compensate for improved average performance. Totally legit. Of course, with this change in place a week later, he took the opportunity with the HR director in attendance to express his deep and profound disappointment with my performance and to warn me that he expected me to go the extra mile next quarter or face disciplinary action since my team had failed to make the new grade. I was angry. So angry. I wanted to complain, but hey, it's the CEO. Who am I going to complain to? He knew that too and sneered at me anytime he could. That's why I worked even harder, neglected my family and personal health, and worked to drive my team to their limits. We fucking made it too. I was going to show that dick stain he couldn't win, unless he cheated. When it became apparent that he was going to be forced to eat the pile of shit he shoveled to me in the previous meeting with HR in attendance, he called me into a meeting to design a training handout for the team. We bounced ideas back and forth, but something was weird. Every time I tried to assign a task to someone or set a due date on the handout, the CEO dodged it. By the end of the meeting, we had accomplished nothing solid, and he tabled the assignment for a later date. Because it was tabled and I assumed we would reschedule a follow-up, I filed my notes away and moved on with other work. A month after that planning meeting, I was pulled into HR and written up for failing to issue the training handout we had tabled. The CEO was in attendance and brought his personally typed meeting notes, clearly outlining that I was assigned the task that day. I had no recourse. He was lying. I said as much and was treated like a combative child. He acted insulted and incredulous. By the end, I was sent home for the day with a demotion off of the team I had built and worked so hard for. I still don't know why the CEO had it out for me. He hired in his most ass-lickingest assistant manager to replace me and told everyone he could how bad I did in that position. I'll never be chosen for something like that again, because this fuck decided he didn't like me.